The night was quiet, but the villagers of Lara could not sleep. From the sacred grove, a deep, echoing sound carried across the air. Dum, dum, dum. The talking drum was beating on its own. Everyone knew what that meant. The ancestors were speaking. Something dangerous was coming. For centuries, the talking drum had rested in the shrine at the edge of the forest. No one was allowed to touch it, except the chief priest, and even he only approached it during special festivals. The drum was not just a drum. It was alive. It was believed that the spirits of the ancestors used it to speak to the living whenever the village was in danger. Children grew up hearing stories about the talking drum. Some said it had been carved from a tree struck by lightning. Others said it had been a gift from the gods dropped from the sky during a storm. But all the stories carried the same warning. Whoever touched the drum for selfish reasons would bring a curse not only upon themselves, but upon the whole village. Among the people who lived in Lara was a young man named Efe, but everyone called him Efe. He was tall, strong, and handsome, but his heart was filled with greed. Unlike other young men who farmed their father's land or helped the hunters, Efe always looked for shortcuts. He wanted riches without hard work. He wanted power without patience. Efe had heard the stories about the talking drum many times, but instead of fear, he felt curiosity. If this drum can call the ancestors, he thought, then surely it can also give me wealth and power. Why should I wait for luck when I can make my own destiny? One moonless night, while the village slept, Efe crept into the sacred grove. The air was thick and cold. Owls hooted from the trees. The shrine was silent, except for the faint hum of insects. And there it was, the talking drum, glowing faintly under the moonlight that broke through the trees. Its leather skin looked alive, as if it was breathing. Efe's heart pounded, his hands trembled, but his greed pushed away his fear. If the ancestors punish me, he whispered, I will find a way to outsmart them. I am Efe, and nothing can stop me. He stretched out his hand and touched the drum. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the ground shook slightly, and a hot wind blew across his face. Ignoring the warning, Efe raised the drumstick that lay beside it and struck the drum. Dum! The sound was not like any normal drum beat. It was as if the forest itself had awakened. Dum, dum. The earth trembled again. Birds flew out of the trees. The river nearby roared as if it had been disturbed. Dum, dum, dum. The ancestors' voices filled the air, chanting words that Efe could not understand. At first, he laughed. Yes, speak to me, ancestors. Show me where the gold is hidden. Give me the power of kings. But instead of wealth, strange things began to happen. The trees around the grove twisted and bent as if alive. Their shadows grew long and reached him. The river suddenly overflowed its banks, flooding the nearby farms. Wild animals ran into the village, their eyes glowing strangely. The peaceful night had turned into chaos. The villagers woke up to cries and confusion. Chickens flew, goats bleated, and women screamed. They rushed to the chief priest's house. The drum is speaking. The world is breaking apart. Save us.
The chief priest, an old man named Femi, came out with his staff. He knew at once that someone had broken the sacred law. His eyes filled with sorrow. Who has touched the talking drum? He shouted. Meanwhile, Efe ran back to the village, trying to hide what he had done. But everywhere he went, disaster followed. The yams in the barns began to rot instantly. Fires broke out in the kitchens. The children fell sick. The curse was spreading fast. The villagers gathered in the village square, trembling with fear. What have we done to anger the ancestors? They asked. The chief priest raised his staff and declared, This is not the anger of the ancestors on all of us. This is the punishment for one man's greed. The drum does not lie. Whoever beat it has brought this curse. The talking drum itself began to beat again in the distance. Dum, dum, dum. Its sound pointed toward Efe, who was hiding among the people. Slowly, all eyes turned to him. Efe tried to deny it. No, not me. I would never. I was at home. But the drum kept beating louder, and the wind blew around him alone. The people gasped. His guilt was clear. "You have doomed us all," cried one old woman. "Because of you, our children may die," shouted another. Fear and anger filled the air. Efe fell to his knees. "I only wanted to be rich. I didn't know the curse was real." The chief priest shook his head. "The ancestors do not care for excuses. You have awakened the curse, and now you must be the one to end it. If you fail, we all perish." "What must I do?" Efe asked, trembling. "You must return to the grove," Lara said, "and face the spirits you have angered. Only then can the curse be broken." The villagers forced Efe back to the forest. The talking drum was still glowing, but now it looked angry. The shadows around it were alive. Strange voices filled the air. Efe fell before the drum. "Great ancestors, forgive me. I was blinded by greed." The forest answered with thunder. A voice boomed, deep and terrifying. "You struck the drum not to protect the people, but to feed your selfishness. You have disrespected the bond between the living and the dead. Now you must pay the price." Suddenly, spirits appeared all around him. Some looked like warriors, others like old women with glowing eyes. They circled Efe, chanting. He felt his strength leave him. "Please," he cried, "give me one more chance. I will change. I will serve the people." The ancestors were silent for a moment. Then the drum spoke again. "One who destroys must rebuild. One who curses must heal. If you truly wish to be forgiven, you must spend your life serving the village, with no riches, no pride, no power, only humility." Efe nodded quickly. "Yes, anything." The spirits faded and the forest grew calm. The drums stopped beating, the floodwaters withdrew. The animals returned to the forest. The curse was broken. But Efe was not the same. From that night, his strength was gone. He could no longer boast or bully. He lived humbly, working for the villagers, fetching water, clearing bushes, helping the farmers. Though many never forgave him, he accepted his punishment quietly. And the talking drum? It remained in the shrine, silent once more. But the people of Lara never forgot the lesson. Parents warned their children, "Do not let greed blind you. Respect the ancestors. And remember, the talking drum of destiny only beats for the good of all, never for the selfish heart of one." Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.